So this is an introduction to polynomial and polynomial functions. So we know poly means many. And norm simply means some term or attribute. So a polynomial is an expression with multiple terms. Typically, when we say multiple, we are saying more than 3. Now, why should we restrict to more than 3? Because the other ones have special names. So the number of terms, if we have one term, we call it a monomial. Example would be an expression such as x by itself, xy, x squared, y squared times z, 6abc, the number 8 by itself in an expression. All of those are single terms. So they are all monomials because they have only one term in the expression. If we have 2 terms, we call the expression a binomial. For example, x plus 2, xy minus 4, x plus x squared, a squared plus b squared. All of those expressions have 2 terms in them, so we call them binomials. Then we have a trinomial. It is one that has 3 terms. For example, would have x cubed plus x squared plus x, x squared, y squared plus x minus 4, 6a plus 8b minus 3. So all of those expressions have 3 terms in them. So those are called trinomials. So a polynomial is one that has more terms in addition or subtraction. So instead of simply having x cubed plus x squared plus 4 plus x, anything 3 and above, we simply call it a polynomial. So I could have x cubed plus x squared minus 2x plus 1. That is a polynomial. I could have x cubed, x raised 5 plus 3x raised 4 plus x cubed plus 3x squared minus x. That is a polynomial. So if the number of terms exceed 3, we simply end up calling it a polynomial. So polynomial functions are functions that contain polynomial expressions. So And the term polynomial is generic. We like to call even a simple linear function as a polynomial. What do I mean by that? So a polynomial by default is a monomial or a binomial or a trinomial. So, but a trinomial or a binomial, monomial, we don't usually call it a polynomial in this sense right there in terms of the number of terms. But as a polynomial function, for instance, if I have f of x is equal to 2x plus 4, that is simply a line. It is a linear function. And that is a line. In this case, that would simply be a binomial because it has two terms. If I had y equals 8, that is a horizontal line. And it is a monomial because the right-hand side has only one term. In general, a polynomial function is written in the following manner. Some constant a sub n multiplied by x raised n plus some constant a sub n minus 1, x raised n minus 1, a sub n minus 2, x raised n minus 2, all the way up to some constant a1, x raised 1, which is simply x, a sub 0, x raised 0 is simply 1. So all of those terms are constants. That is a general expression for a polynomial. A key thing to note is the power that we see in the polynomial itself. So every single x term has a power. We have n, n minus 1, n minus 2, and so forth. The highest degree, the highest power So the highest power of a polynomial is called the degree of the polynomial. As an example, suppose we have x squared plus x plus 4. The highest power in that expression, it is a trinomial, it has 3 terms in it, but it is a polynomial function. So the highest power here is 2, so the degree of the polynomial is 2. Suppose I had x cubed minus x plus 2. It is a trinomial because it has 3 terms, but in terms of a polynomial function, the highest degree here is 3, or the highest power is 3, so the degree is 3. Now, I could have another function such as x raised 4 minus 1. There are only 2 terms in that expression. So it is a binomial expression since one of the terms is x raised 4, the other is 1. But in terms of a polynomial function, what is the highest degree? The highest degree, the highest power. The highest power is 4, so the degree of the polynomial is 4. So the degree of a polynomial function is simply the highest power in the expression. We all know of a line y equals mx plus b. So if we have y equals 8x plus 11, and if we look at the right-hand side, we have a binomial. There are 2 terms, but it is a polynomial function. So what is the degree of that polynomial function? The highest power of x in that expression is 1, which is right here. So the degree is 1. So in conclusion, a first degree polynomial is simply the linear function that we all know. So a first degree polynomial is nothing but a linear function that we write it as y equals mx plus b. Give me 1 second, Phil. Okay. In a similar manner, as the degree increases, we will see functions called cubic functions, quadratic functions, and so forth. In advanced algebra classes, they'd start using the terms quadratic functions, cubic functions, 4th degree polynomials, and so forth.